talking today about what you have thought was bad for you and now actually is found to be good for you. All along has been good for you, Tom. You know, it's not like all of a sudden the body changes dramatically. It's our understanding of it more than anything else. And our understanding as it has evolved here has kind of come back to the basic gregarious farm life. I mean, it's what are the things that are good for us. So as far as they're found, you know, in their natural state. One guy that I keep comes to mind when we think about this is Weston Price.
Yes.
And anyone out there who hasn't done any research on Weston Price, you should Google Weston Price. He will tell you, and what he's found, he was a dentist, Tom, you know, and he traveled the world helping people with their teeth, and he was looking and noticed the connection between people who had bad teeth and bad health. And so everyone who had bad teeth pretty well had bad health. So he started looking into what they were eating. What were these healthy people that had healthy teeth and healthy bodies eating? Saturated fats, farm fresh eggs, fresh raw cow's milk, whole cow's milk. So totally turning our understanding on its head from granola and bean sprouts back to fats in our diet. So, Tom, the one study that I read about, and this was the initial study they did on fats with mice, they cut their fats totally out. Just gave them nothing but protein and carbs. Gave them no fat. First thing that happened, edema. Some type of, or not edema, psoriasis, eczema, okay? Not edema, water retention, no. But it was a skin condition. They started having skin conditions first and foremost. What after that? Started having health problems, immune problems, and then ultimately death. So cut out your fats and see how that works for you. It's not going to help you, folks. It's more about quality of those fats, Tom, and I know you'll agree. Well, man-made, oleoester, those type of things, horrible.
Well, get into your, the people that don't want to hear this other part of the animal fats, don't. That's fine with me.
Yes.
But get into your nuts.
Yes.
Get into your seeds.
Coconut oil.
Yeah, coconut oil, for sure.
Palm kernel oil.
How about
very good for
eat
you.
Avocados?
Avocados, yes. Well, and now the average person would look at but an average person would look at avocados and say, oh, you know, it's got 38 grams of fat in an avocado. But that fat is actually helping you, number one, satiate the appetite, nourish the body, and then ultimately will make you eat less long term. So what happens with a lot of the times what we have in our society, folks, and the way we approach health conditions, most of the time it's knee-jerk reactions, Tom, as you see in the medical field. We see something and say, oh, like cholesterol. Cholesterol's bad. It's causing the blockage in the arteries. Blaming cholesterol for blockage in the arteries is like blaming a cop car for a wreck and an accident. Yes, there are police cars. The police show up at an accident. Yes, cholesterol showing up at that spot to correct damage, to patch a scar. That's what it's doing. Is it the culprit? No. The cause of it goes well back to vitamin deficiencies, other deficiencies. So again, we look at it in science a lot of times and say, oh, here we found it. In reality, we haven't.
One way to look at it too is, so let's say that's our theory. So the LDL, the bad cholesterol, is going to be bad if you ate a lot of fat. So what do? So they get a bunch of men together that have bad cholesterol and they have high triglycerides. So what do? They give them 30% fat, like 22% fat, 18% fat, and then they compare how these people do. But the weird thing was, it was turned upside down. That's what we're doing this show today for.
Yes, turning you on your head.
People understand. The ones that had the lowest percent fat in their diet had the highest LDL and the highest triglycerides. They were even higher than the control group that just let them go.
Wow.
So the highest was 30%, and those people had the lowest LDL at the end of the study and had the lowest triglycerides. So it's one of those like, whoops. I always like to say that. Whoops.
Yeah, whoops, exactly right.
You to hear whoops.
You don't want to hear whoops from the guy who's giving surgery, who's operating on you, or cutting your hair, or anything like that. And then especially a whoops in this particular situation is affecting millions of people, because what we have had for so long, and on the fat issue here, it brings up another subject, eggs. We used to demonize eggs for the longest of time. The role model, the gold standard for protein, folks, are eggs, period. The easiest digesting, the most complete amino acids, the best protein for you, we've essentially demonized, Tom, and now we're understanding that the cholesterol in that yolk is not adding necessarily cholesterol to your overall count. Most of it comes from from your liver. A great percentage of it does. So when we start looking at these things saying, okay, eggs have cholesterol, eggs have saturated fat, so throw the yolk out, just eat the white. On the contrary.
I wish you'd eat an egg a day.
So everyone should.
They took hundreds of nurses. That was nice. Nurses are, doing these studies.
Good case study, yes.
But they did 9 years of 6 or more eggs a week, and they had no increase in cholesterol.
No increase.
So that's a long study. That's a long study. And so I'd say we're pretty safe.
We're pretty safe, yes. And
this is the thing. It's funny. I've been doing this long enough I'm the one that tells people this was bad, this is good. The same thing. Now it's bad again. Now it's good again. And but you can only go with the research, and you try to look at the trends. And then if there's like 500 studies and 496 of them show one way, don't just pick out the 4. So, but some of the things we learned were when they were converting our thought process over to the grains and more of the starches were okay. And we used to load the athletes before their events so they'd have a lot of energy. But what they've done lately, they've kept the fats and proteins high, and these athletes can pedal 3 times faster, 3 times harder, 3 times longer. There's the proof. We used to tell them that the fats would cause increased colorectal cancer, and now they've proved that's not the case. And so, like the coconut oil, we were just talking about that. Yes. It has factors that can even benefit your histamine. So, people with allergies, let's have a little of these.
Yes, antimicrobial. It has antimicrobial, on down the line. And we've demonized again coconut oil and palm kernel oil for so long. If that is the case, and it was that bad, then why aren't the Filipinos? Why aren't the people who are the people who from the Philippines, from Thailand, from all of these different places that were eating this? Why is it that these people are still alive and very healthy? So it goes back to really, folks, if you want to know what's killing us, it's deficiencies in this country that's killing us. It's what we're not getting in our diet. Fat is at the top of that list. Coconut oil, again, we just brag on coconut oil. Now the list goes on and on of the benefits there, Tom. Bodybuilders have always known about coconut oil. Trust me, we knew about the MCTs.
Well, the storage factor.
Yes.
The flax is good and all that, but I accidentally let mine go a little bit, and the guy said, well, why don't you use it to polish your furniture? But coconut oil can sit there for probably a year, people, at room temperature, and it doesn't turn rancid. Even the fish oil, we push the fish oil.
Yes.
But if you guys
acidifies very quickly.
Yeah, so you guys need to get your other oils when you do eat your fish oil supplements, and it helps counteract that.
So is fat bad? No, it's not bad. It depends on the quality of that fat, number one, Tom, the state that it's in. So we want to talk about that when we get back from the break, is the quality of the fats that you're taking in and how that's affecting your body as well. So we'll take a break. Be back after this, folks. Hang on.